So growing up, we always heard parents say something along the lines of, I want my kid to be more like so and so. Well, that was usually on the lines of academics or behavior. Now, my parents were never the type to say anything like that, and I definitely wasn't the child that the parents wanted their kids to be like. But the person that comes to mind that fit that role was Maeve Hindenburg. And it's a great privilege for me to take the task of introducing such a driven and virtuous woman. I am ecstatic to introduce her. After all, she is my best friend. Now, I've grown up with her since kindergarten, and ever since then, she's left a mark on others. She always did well in school. She was involved in almost every extracurricular activity that I can imagine, and she even succeeded when she failed. Now, that's kind of difficult to understand, but for example, in middle school, a bunch of us decided to try out for cheerleading, including Maeve. But unfortunately, Maeve didn't make the team. And she simply said, well, I guess cheerleading's not meant for me. Now, I had never seen somebody be able to react that well to being rejected. Now, Maeve was definitely emotional and upset and hurt by this, but she took those emotions and she put it towards finding what was right for her. And it seemed every year she took that bar and she raised it higher and higher. Though every year she also soared over that bar. Now my favorite part is that she never actually belittled anybody who was below her. She would empower them and lift them up to try to get them to where she wanted to be, or where they wanted to be, so that they could kind of follow in her footsteps. And it's her kind soul and her mother-like nature that allowed her to help people in that manner. You can ask anybody their opinion of Maeve, and I'm sure that it would be something fantastic. Now, if somebody said something mean, I'd assume that it was just out of jealousy. Well, I decided to ask somebody very close to Maeve about their opinion of her. And that person was Janet, her mom. Now, most parents would say that they're extremely proud of their kid, and Janet said that, but she also said that when she tells other people about Maeve and her accomplishments, she feels like she's bragging, even though she doesn't mean to. Now, Janet also said, and I quote, over the years, I have had the pleasure to attend numerous award ceremonies that Maeve was involved in. Each one surprised me, and I've always been aware of Maeve's hard work and effort, but up until those ceremonies, I was not entirely aware of the extent of each award and achievement that she had gotten. The part that moves me the most is the fact that Maeve never made a big ordeal about these accomplishments, though she realized their worth and the effort that she had to put in to reach those. Janet understands that Maeve is nowhere near perfect, as no human being is, but she realizes that Maeve's hard work gets her to where she is today. The next person that I asked an opinion of Maeve about is Clayton. We've been friends with Clayton since 6th grade, I believe, and ever since then, him and Maeve have always butted heads on any debatable topic. Well, he still holds the utmost respect towards Maeve, and he told me, even though Maeve and I tend to have complete opposite views on topics, I still respect her for putting her voice out there and staying true to herself, because that's what's most important in life. She's like me in that aspect, just with a different viewpoint. She doesn't back down, and that's made obvious between her and Clay. And those strong beliefs have gotten her to where she is today and makes her such a driven person. Well, the last person that I talked to is probably the most intriguing, and that's Arter, her ex-boyfriend. Most exes generally have something negative to say about the other? Well, not Arter. He says that he'll never forget Maeve, and it's not just because of their relationship, but it's because of her personality, her outlook on life, and just everything that she has helped him with and how he has seen her treat other people. He simply described Maeve as being a sympathetic, easy to please, and most importantly, understanding human being. Any way that she can help the world, she will. Now, those are three different people who are very close to Maeve, but each one has a different idea in their head, and she has impacted them in a different way, yet she has a common effect on all of them. And I can witness that firsthand on every single person that Maeve has encountered, ever since kindergarten. Now, all of these characteristics have led to recent accomplishments and achievements. Maeve has most recently been prom queen. She was valedictorian. She received an academic scholarship to Washington University in St. Louis. In there, she has led protests, and then she also went to Washington, D.C. for a rally. That just shows how driven she is in life, and she just wants to keep succeeding. Maeve has, in the least, made me proud to be her best friend. She's made life more vivid for me and allowed me to look at life in a much more vivid way. I hope she does the same for others.